in the air, and yesterday gave us more than enough upsets to spare. Hello and happy Valentine's
Day. Mark?
Thank you,
oh,
Mark.
What beautiful
wow.
flowers.
I was about to put them down. They're repurposed from when I gave them to my girlfriend for you guys. Hey!
Oh my
I feel
gosh.
So special.
The hand-me-down gifts, I guess. That's all we can expect from Mark here. I do appreciate the sweater that you've got there, too. Really festive going into this. But welcome, everybody that's watching. We are here with the LCS Countdown, where for the next 30 minutes, we'll be looking into some blind picks, taking a course in Diver's Ed, and playing another edition of According To with me, La Tigress. Speaking of which, be sure to vote in Twitch chat using the team tri-codes to let us know who you think the best mid-jungle duo is in the LCS. We'll be collecting your answers and seeing if the analysts can anticipate your responses a little later on in the show. We do have a packed countdown ahead of us here today. So before we get into the action, Emily, Mark, Kobe, tell me, what did you make of yesterday's matches?
I was just happy to see upsets, okay? I think it's really healthy for the league overall and the competition to have upsets so that it keeps the analysts on their toes with their predictions. Plus, it keeps these teams looking for areas to improve, and they're always striving, to overcome these odds and turn everybody's preconceived notions on their heads.
And speaking of, upsets from yesterday and stuff, I think there's no bigger one than TSM's win over Team Liquid yesterday, just because there's such a controversy kind of around this team where the discussion around them is so negative and pessimistic, and yet they're 3-2 in the standings. They're slowly getting better. I don't think anyone by any stretch of the imagination would say that this is the best we can expect out of TSM this year. So the fact that they're still competing at the top of the table in terms of wins while having so much area to improve, and you're starting to see those a little bit yesterday, is actually in some sense a good sign for TSM, as long as they can keep on that trajectory.
Yeah, I mean, I think... Oh, I was going to say, I think the big thing about TSM for me is that my main criticism was that they weren't going into the game looking like they all had the same game plan, and they definitely did yesterday. Like, they looked like an actual team. Obviously, yes, they still made mistakes, but it was a world of improvement from their previous games.
Cleaned up that early game.
Yeah.
Hearts of some of the TSM fans beginning to flutter a little bit. Emily, I also want to get your thoughts on just what we've seen so far in this week, because this is the first time we're getting to see 11.3 for the LCS.
Yeah, so we talked about this on the first day back, about especially Udyr priority. Mark brought it up. The fact that he is risen in priority so much, he's pretty much permabanned like he was in Academy and in more recent LEC games. We saw more Seraphine finally, which I've been ranting about for a while, despite her nerfs. And then also, we saw more Zoe pickups, which I also like. I've seen it at about like an 80% pick ban rate in LPL for a while. I think she fits into a lot of comps. So I was also happy to see Zoe trotted out yesterday as well.
The funny thing to me is that the Seraphine showing up more is highly concentrated on FlyQuest. It's FlyQuest with a little dash of Immortals, dipping into it. And so it's still very specific teams. But I'm glad that the teams that are embracing it are also embracing the flexible nature and multiple roles of it.
Yeah, a pick that we have, interestingly enough, seen quite a bit in Academy, now making its way here into the LCS. But as we go into the last day of games for the weekend, let's take a look at the leaderboards with the Samsung SSD Fast 5 for any notable shakeups since last week.
I mean, definitely jumped up there. I just want to call out definitely as someone who's been, like, regardless of the fastest 10K gold, someone who's been performing really well, who performed really well in lock-in, and people were kind of shocked, and then has still been performing consistently well for EG.
And I think the other thing to note about that is that's 3 new people on the fastest 10K goal from last week. Previously it was, I think, Neo at number 1, but it was 2 minutes behind, from where definitely has overtaken him. So pretty substantial changes in that bot lane.
And with fasting Senna coming back too, this stat now kind of feels like who can dodge being, fasting Senna because you're not farming early on. Wow, you're racking up good damage numbers. That's why statistics are always just an indicator and not the whole story.
Senna, the stat breaker, I'm sure causes a lot of headaches for many. But as far as what we have going on for today's matches, we're going to be kicking things off with Team Liquid facing off against 100 Thieves. Should be an exciting one. Then Immortals are challenging TSM in game number 2 with 2 more matches before game 5, where we have Golden Guardians taking on Counter Logic Gaming. Should be a lot of fun gameplay that we have going on the Rift, and I'm ready to get into some gameplay here on the Countdown desk as as this is Valentine's Day. I hope you analysts are ready for it. Here's the thing. I'm going to be setting you all up with not one pro, but a perfect pair to get you some free low. The catch? You have to pay up in an auction-style bidding war. Here are the rules. Each of you will be given 100 LCS bucks. You must bid in $5 increments. Spend your LCS bucks wisely. Production determines the starting price of each pro, and you need to draft 2 players, no more, no less. And they're going to have around 20 seconds per auction, so make your brain go quick. 3 of the 6 players will be blind picked, though, with a single clue for you. Are you all ready with your $100 standing on by?
I like the mystery guest, like Survivor style.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to be taking a little bit of risk here today, but I'm going to ease you into it. The first one, I'll give you all the deets right up front. The first pro, a 4-time LCS All-Pro, or actually, a reigning champion of Academy hailing from OCE. We're starting our auction with Fudge. I'm thinking we begin our bid at $10. We got $10 for Fudge from anyone here in the audience? I see some thinking faces.
I feel like as a jungler, if I was queuing with him and I had to have him on my team, I would definitely have to pay a lot of early attention to top side. I'm not against that, though.
Oh, but is that $10? Are you throwing it down? You got a little time on the chop.
I'll throw $10 in there. That's a steal, I think.
That's a
got
value
$10?
buy for 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll go
$15,
15.
anybody?
I'll go 15.
Emily's got 15. Oh, do we hear 20? 20. Nobody in 20. 15. Going once. Going twice. A steal.
All right.
$15. Emily grabs Fudge right off the bat.
What are you laughing at, Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe, why are you laughing at me? Come on, man.
That's a bargain deal. $15.
But you didn't.
Just wait until one of you
go for it
guys bets on the mystery, and it's going to be...
I'm a risk taker. I want to go with the mystery.
I got the risk for you right now, Kobe. We're going to be rolling right into our first blind pick. Here's your tip. LCS Championship mid laner. LCS Championship mid laner. Starting the bid.
Oh, there's so many LCS champion mid.
Oh, yeah, there are.
At
25's
what,
the
5?
base.
Oh, 25? I'll go
25.
25 for sure. Championship, that's
25.
good qualifications right there.
I'll go
You're 30.
35. I'll go 10.
35
40.
from Mark. 40 from Kobe. Do we have a follow-up from 40? 40 going once, going twice. Dang, nobody brought it up. Kobe, you getting $40 for this pick. You ready to find out who you will be going into duo queue with? It is Huhi.
Hey, honestly, I am happy with it because it doesn't say he has to queue mid lane. He was the championship mid laner. He's one of the best supports in the whole league right now. I have him right behind Core JJ, who he has been amazing for 100 Thieves. So you think I got debated there? You guys are laughing, but I'm actually happy with that pick.
I was just scared that, it was going to be some old, old player who's like Skara, who's now playing TFT or something.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not a championship mid, but I don't know. They would have. I thought they were going to trick me somehow with some old players. So I got
Season
scared.
1, it was GGU versus TSM in the finals. And I can't even remember who the GGU
They could have
mid
slid
was.
Reggie in there for you.
Yeah.
Scar's been popping up in Twitch Rivals and stuff too, so I wouldn't count anybody out. But we're going to go to our next one. This isn't a blind pick. I'll give you the deets off on the start. It is a 4-time LCS All-Pro first team member, 2-time LCS champion, and a member of the elite 1,000 career kill club. We got Jensen. Ooh, and this is starting at a cool $50. $50.
$50.
Mark. Mark's got
65.
Oh,
65.
I heard 60 to 65 from Emily. Emily's got it at 65.
70.
Anybody topping that? Do you have $70, Mark?
I haven't spent a dime yet.
Yeah.
This is why I was holding.
I'll go
Okay.
80.
Mark
I'll go
for 70?
85. I'll go all of the rest of my money.
85. That's Emily's cap. Is anybody going to swipe this away from Emily at $85? Going once, going twice.
I'll do 90. Fine.
Oh, $90 from Mark at the last sentence. All right, once, twice, $90 to Mark. Wow, you are left with $10, Mark.
Congratulations with your Annie mid laner for solo queue, by the way, Mark.
Hey, man, Jensen's a beast. He'll carry my butt so far in solo queue. I don't care. He might flame me. I don't know how he is in solo queue if he's like kind of mute all player, but as long as he's getting me the elo, I don't care what I have to endure.
Fair enough.
All right. You only got $10 coming up, though, and we still have 3 more picks to go. Everybody here has a pick under their belt. Let's go to our next blind pick. The tip for you is this is a former TSM bot laner with multiple LCS titles, and this is starting at $30. Mark's only got 10, so he's already out of this one. It's between Emily and Kobe here.
Double lift, wild turtle.
Got to keep in mind the timer, even if you don't know who it is. $30.
Chaos only got one with them, right? So
Yeah, I don't think it's
Someone
Chaos.
going to grab the opening
Yeah.
bid.
What was the price?
$30. $30.
$30. You know what? I'll
30
slam
is
30.
good.
I'll slam 30 in there. I'm
right.
down because I already got a support, so I could get a duo bottom lane hard carry. That's
Okay,
good.
Kobe, $30. Once, twice, 2.5, Emily. No, we're going to
You
put
guys
that
are
over
gonna
$30
have
for
it.
Kobe. Yeah, I mean, Mark was already at it from the beginning. So, Kobe,
Yeah,
you got yourself
Turtle,
a
my
wild
boy.
turtle, boy.
I
feel like
love
you guys
Turtle.
are pretty
Honestly, he is such a happy person and always has some positive vibes. So our solo queue is actually going to be slamming. Huhi and Turtle. I'll just go straight bottom lane. We win free.
You guys are gonna have a lot of fun too. That's like I feel like that's a
Yeah.
fun duo to play with.
They're going to troll you.
Plus, Huhi will
Probably.
roam for sure with me. Huhi will come like help me in all the jungle camps, like lift me up like the little baby.
Come lift me up. It's perfect for Valentine's Day. All right, well, we've got 2 more to go. So to close things out in this auction, we're going to be showing you the 2 players at the same time. We'll reveal one, and you can bid on him, or you can take a chance on the secret player. The player that we know about is going to be Closer, one of the top Turks, 100 Thieves jungler right here. And, of course, if you want a little bit of the deets on the mystery, the clue that I'm going to give you is that they are a former jungler for Dignitas.
So
Former
2
jungler
junglers.
for
I mean,
Dignitas.
I only have
I bet it's
$10.
crumbs.
Yeah,
I bet
I'm
it's
I'm
crumbs.
sorry to say, I'll
We're starting at $10.
I'll give, like, it feels bad not paying a lot for Closer, but I'll go like 20 and just bid Mark out for Closer.
I know. It's like you can get them for so cheap because I can't compete with you.
Yeah.
You drove my
Mark is-
price up on Jensen.
Even with the 10 starting, Emily's already brought it up to 20. Kobe, you going to combat that? I don't actually.
I have 2 players already, so I'm
Oh, you
already
do?
out.
Money.
As
then
according
hey.
to the rules.
Oh, that's true. You got 2. So, Emily, congratulations on grabbing Closer for yourself in this bid.
Who did
That
I get?
means you got
No!
I feel like
I-
that's a solid mystery one to get.
So I have Jet still obviously on friends list, and I have not seen him play any solo queue. He's played some ARAMs, so good luck, Mark. Jensen's gonna have to carry both of you.
He'll just make all the calls in the game, you know, keep the macro brain. Maybe a
Maybe
low
him
mechanical
and Jensen have good synergy to carry me. I'll play support and just like.
I'm gonna
ward
try
around
and
the lane.
snipe you, Mark. My team is gonna try and snipe your team. we're gonna
I like my
sabotage you
team.
and
I feel
take
like
you
we
down.
can do well. I like it. I'm happy with my team.
Emily seems to be feeling pretty confident. I do want to know from you in the audience who you think has snagged the best teammates in Twitch chat, on Twitter. You can let us know. Make sure you use hashtag LCS if you do decide Twitter is where you want to share your opinion. We're going to go ahead and step away, but when we come back, we have According To with yours truly. You don't want to miss it. Hello and welcome back to the LCS Countdown, where I'm putting our analysts through yet another game show with another edition of According To with me. And this does feature your responses, so I hope you have all been contributing in the Twitch chat, on Twitter, and beyond. But I'm ready to get right into this game show with our very first question, which is, according to Twitter, which is the best power couple? Blabber and Udyr, Demonte and Galio, Jensen and Orianna, or Afromu and Blitzcrank?
I'm gonna go Blabber with any jungler, so I'll go Blabber Udyr.
I'm going Jensen Orianna. He has been kind of a Orianna main for years now, so I think he's been doing that longer than any of these other combos.
I'm going to go Demonte Galio because I feel like Twitter will come out for Demonte.
Okay. So a submission for every option except for Afromu. Let's find out what the answer is. And it's 46% of the vote going to Blabber Udyr. Also, a special note to the audience. We saw a lot of people raging a bit about the Udyr and Blabber combination, but his stats were just too good in this 2021 season.
It's like a new
Not
couple.
feature
It's
it.
like the last couple weeks. It's a flash
Yeah.
in the pan. He'll move on to
People
a
like
new
winners.
jungler.
The honeymoon
People
phase.
like winners, okay?
Winners, chicken dinners. Twitter is the winner in that one. But we're going to be moving on to question number 2. We asked Twitch chat, and according to them, which is the best mid plus jungler duo in the league?
Ooh, a
Got
lot
lots of
choices
options here.
I'm doubling down
Hold
on
it.
Blabber. I'm going Blabber and Perks.
Yeah, I feel like it's either Blabber Perks or Jitsun and Santorin. I'll go with the TL duo.
I'm going with C9. I've learned that anytime there's a fan question, C9 is the answer.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, I'm going to lose, but whatever, I'm sticking to mine.
2 for C9, 1 for TL, but only one right answer, and it's whatever Twitch chat has decided. And the answer is Demonte and Closer. 31
You jumped
We were all wrong.
You left 100 Thieves. You jump ship on them.
Yeah, Mark, aren't they like carrying you in fantasy?
I mean, like,
or
I would
something?
actually agree with that. Like, from a analytical level, they seem to work the best together right now. But I just didn't think. I just underestimated Twitch chat's brains. I guess I thought they were going to
Good
meme
job,
us or
Twitch
something.
chat. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of 100 Thieves, our final question, number 3, actually goes out to Closer. We asked him, who is the worst breakup in League history? Now, this could be any breakup in all of League esports, not just LCS. So what do you guys think that Closer had to say? Somewhere from his region? Somewhere beyond?
The worst breakup?
In
Oh
League.
my
I'm trying
God.
to think, is it like
I'm
double
trying to
the
think of, like-
ELG?
I'm trying to think of some like really big duo that broke up. I don't know.
Can it be like
I
a
don't know.
player and a
Major one.
team? Because there's like the Dunzo. All of these are CLG related, but there's a Dunzo
Oh, the
manifesto.
Dunzo Manifesto is a good
I feel
one.
like I
think
have to
double
go-
up to CLG.
I have to go for the
Dardock and
Dunzo
Loco
manifesto.
Doco from Team Liquid.
Oh God, yeah.
Double lift. Avram, there are a lot of good ones. All right, so we got a TL1. Any final submissions?
Oh, I mean, I'll go with Dunzo Manifesto. That's mine.
All right. Let's go. Let's find out what the answer is right now.
Yeah, I think the worst duo breakup is for me Prey and Gorilla. I think they were really good bot lane in Worlds and they were like about to be legendary. I think they are legendary already. So when they break up and go different teams or retire, I felt like that's the worst duo breakup.
No.
Well, now I'm sad.
That was a good
Because that
answer.
wasn't a
That was
Mimi
way
answer
better
at
than our
all.
answers.
Yeah.
Why are you breaking our heart on Valentine's Day? What the hell?
I love the Coup Tigers. Oh.
Yep. I think we all need a little bit of pick-me-up right now. So we're going to take a break. And as we do, here's some romantic wisdom in this edition of Sage Advice.
And now, it's time for Sage Advice from a literal world champion.
How do you find the perfect duo? Well, it's simple. Go to www.twitch.tv, browse to the League of Legends section, find your favorite streamer, then purchase a Tier 3 subscription. Then, come to the cold, hard realization that you're always going to be more of a solo queue kind of guy.
This has
Welcome back to the LCS. We're ahead of game number 1. We're taking a look at one of the most beloved calls in League of Legends, the Tower Dive. My 3 analysts are going to assess a few plays and use their big brains to drive home some knowledge in Diver's Ed. Today, we're looking at 3 dives from 100 Thieves. Love that graphic, by the way. Each analyst will...
Amazing.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing.
Look at Hootie's face. He's
terrified.
like,
He's
just
how did I
like,
get in this
please.
car? Why is DeMonte driving?
I'm just waiting to go give some freelo after that auction earlier. That's the only place I want to be. But each of our analysts are going to give a player rating out of 10 and explain their scores briefly before we go on to the next play. Now, first up, we've got 100 Thieves versus Immortals from Lock-In. Ready to see this action?
All right, so yeah,
Okay.
we see Potluck headed to the top side, and Closer is going to take a look at this bottom lane. They're going to push the wave in, also very important for tower dives, and call TP in. Right here, they already get the first kill. Demonte is here with the gold card to stun, and this is why I'm not a play-by-play caster, by the way. I have an equation for that, and I am going to give it a 9. I don't know if you can.
Oh, wow.
Do I need
Yeah.
to back
Yeah,
up?
pull back.
What
a
is
little
it-
bit.
what is
Enemy
the
jungler on
specification?
the opposite side of the map plus jungle support and juggling
Yeah.
turret gives it a 9.
Yeah,
I-
I liked it.
I gave it an 8. I'm pretty on board with that.
Yeah, I'm
see
the
a 7.
I'm the tough judge. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read.
A
I gave
7.
it a 7 here. I don't know if this Sharpie's going to show up, but I did like, tracking the enemy jungler. I remember watching that one live, though. Mid lane wasn't tracked and it got a little bristly. Could have been a little bit cleaner, but very, very, very well executed.
I bet, Kobe, you're the kind of person that never gives a 10 to anyone after that 7. Excited to see what you have to say about the next dive that we have coming up. It is 100 Thieves versus CLG that we saw in week number 1.
Oh no, this one, Someday doesn't get the last auto. That minion dies, so you can see he did not have Empower W. So the stun is not doubled in duration, so Finn's able to flash out and they die to it. Well, this is not even close to a 7. That's gonna be like a 2. Actually, maybe, yeah, it could be worse. You could embarrass yourself a little bit more, but that minion dying, not getting Empowered W for the extra duration for your stun means that the Taliyah knockback doesn't work. Oh, this is permanent.
I'm glad we got 2s across the board. I agree.
2.
You get like a couple points for like, ooh, a little bit unlucky, and it could have been worse. Like you said, you could have got the double kill and double buffs going over. At least only one person died.
Yeah.
I would like to note that Kobe is using a permanent marker, so whatever he gives as a score is the final decision. 2 out of 10 for that second dive. We do have one more coming your way, though. This is 100 Thieves versus C9 just yesterday.
And I love this play for a couple of reasons. One, the early flash for Trunk by Huhi. I love that he doesn't really care. You know, he's willing to use his flash all the time. And the fact that they had TP advantage, this is a really smart play. Someday's going to back off the wave. He's already got it in a decent spot. And he's going to go for a 3-man dive super early into the game. This is a weird timing window, and it's not the easiest dive to pull off at this level, you know, but they drop the turret aggro. They make sure that Someday picks it up on the next time. They wait for the aftershock to run out. Like, that is a 10 out of 10 dive for me in terms of, you know, abusing the summoner advantages, finding the timing window, getting both of those kills in pretty low level. You know, I can't imagine that going much better.
This is perfect. I can turn my 7 into a 9 because it's not a 10 unless you make your opponents embarrass themselves dying in the dive, and then I'll finally give you a 10.
It's impossible. How you can mind control them?
Difference. There we go. We're going to go for a solid 9.5.
You got a decimal system?
Yeah,
we never said no to decimals, so, I mean, I guess it's free reign. I was hoping Kobe would maybe come through with a 10 there, but alas, Mark is the savior of the double digits here. Oh, what fun, guys. But I think after enough game playing for ourselves, we do need to turn our attention to the first matchup that we have, and this is where 100 Thieves will be facing off against Team Liquid. I'm wondering what you think we can all expect from this, being that they have already faced off against one another during the lock-in tournament.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see the bottom lanes go at it again because pre-lock-in tournament, we were hyping them up as 2 of the very best bottom lanes in the entire league, and it delivered. Level 1, Tactical and Core JJ goes straight at FBI. He steps up too far forward. Core lands the E. They go all in. They get the first blood, but the twist was, of course, that 100 Thieves then call their jungler to the bottom side. They make it a team game. They get right back in it, and they end up winning. So I'm just excited for episode number 2, not just the microcosm of the bottom lane, but how they involve the entire team in these plays. And I'm also looking for some more dives.
I think you can get plenty of dives. The rest of that game did play out in a kind of similar way, where also in the top side, it did feel like Alfari was getting the better of Someday in the 1v1. He also made some good team plays with his TP down and stuff. But again, it was kind of the story of 100 Thieves with better teamwork. And this is also a game where you have to remember Armeo was still playing, actually. Santorin had not arrived yet. So it is a little bit... I think it's a totally different landscape now that we're heading into the matchup today. I think, Santorin is not only an upgrade on paper, but also having played a lot longer with the team now. I think they're going to synergize a lot better. And you'll see less of these kind of like sad, like, ooh, I'm going to win the 1v1. And it's like, oh, wait, no, someone else is here. So I think potentially with the skill advantages that we saw from the previous matchup, maybe this is Team Liquid favored now that they hopefully have closed some of the synergy gap.
And I really like this composition actually coming out of 100 Thieves. It was the Lulu composition that they had where they were just kind of running at you, and Huhi was on the Lulu. We've also seen him excel on a lot of these engage supports. And to bring it back full circle, like the bottom lane is still where I'm looking for this matchup. Not even because of the 2v2, but I think Huhi has been consistently really strong in initiating team fights for his team. So we're going to be looking at both of these supports in and out of lane.
That's one of the main points that is always brought to you when we see 100 Thieves and we see Team Liquid, the strength of the bot lane and the way that the rest of the team play around them. Before we get directly into this game, though, quickly want to get the predictions from our analyst, 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid to start, and then, of course, what we got going on for the rest of the day. Let's have it. Okay.
I knew it.
Yeah, Mark, you're the only one putting 100 Thieves here in the first match.
I'm surprised. I mean, right now, yes, 100 Thieves has made some oopsies with their dives, but Team Liquid has been kind of sus. They're 3-2. They've lost some games to opponents that have not been particularly impressive. No shade to Immortals and TSM, but it's not like they played C9 and dropped the game, or, you know, so like I'm a little scared out of TL right now that their strength of schedule hasn't been too hard and they've actually dropped a couple games.
And if we're looking down to the last match, too, I feel like it's not really absurd to go either GG or CLG in this case. But, Emily, why are you going more towards the side of gold?
So I will agree that I think overall, like macro level, Golden Guardians still have a lot to work on when you compare to CLG in terms of the basics. But again, this is single game. I like a lot of what Golden Guardians do. I like that they're not afraid to lean into the individual strengths that they do have. And I think they generally prepare their players to play, again, around the strengths and opportunity areas. So despite the fact that I actually think that their like overall macro level is worse than what we've seen from CLG, I don't know. I was just like, you know what? I'm feeling Golden Guardians today. I'm going to go for it. And I need to make up some points because my predictions have been pretty terrible. So I'm sorry, Golden Guardians, actually.
But now that CLG, everyone's saying they are free wins, absolute trash, never going to win a game, going to go a whole season without picking one up. As soon as people start saying that, that's when CLG turn it around and they actually get the win to change your mind.
They've also had some good early games, so like I totally agree about like the energy around Golden Guardians feels better, and they sometimes feel like they have good game plans, but I'm concerned that if they don't get a lead versus CLG, some of those macro concerns that you were talking about might surface, Emily. So I'm just indexing towards CLG. Plus, I have two of their players on my fantasy team. I need them to do well. I need Turtle and Smoothie to do well.
Just sneak the Baron. Sneak the Baron.
No.
So many points with objectives.
Learn to ward topside.
We'll see GG and CLG take them so on later on in the day, but we are going to be heading into our first game of the day, 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. Let's hand things over to Freak and Azael, who have the call.